Shiny hunting has become one of the most popular activities you can do in Pokemon. I remember when the task of finding a shiny seemed borderline impossible, but as time went on, we were given way easier methods of hunting for shinies. I wouldn't call myself a shiny hunter by any means, but I do occasionally try to do it. Hey, just because I cook something once doesn't make me a chef. Just like how me kidnapping this Illumise doesn't make me a kidnapper. At least that's what I tried to explain to my lawyer. You wouldn't get it, Phoenix! All of us have our own unique experiences and stories of our own shiny hunting attempts, and here are some of mine. Back when I was a kid, I had no idea what a shiny was. I didn't have internet access for a while, so if I didn't personally see it with my own eyes, it didn't exist, sort of like how a flat earther works. I don't think my brother even knew what a shiny was either, because he had an action replay for his copy of Pokemon Diamond, and out of all the level 100 Pokemon I saw, I never once saw a shiny Pokemon on there. If I did, I just don't remember. Maybe there was, I don't know. But to be honest, that doesn't make any sense, because my brother's first game was Pokemon Silver, so he had to have seen the red Gyarados. I don't know, okay? Maybe he was just a humble cheater. Point is, if I saw a shiny Pokemon, I probably would have thought it had a disease or something. Everything changed though once I got access to the internet. My Pokemon knowledge expanded from what I read in books to literally whatever I wanted to know. Can a Voltorb blow up the world? Yes. Is Illumise and Volbeat the worst Pokemon ever? Better believe it. Can a Gyarados beat up my dog in a French Bulldog fight? I don't even know what that means, but probably. And when I found out that shiny Pokemon were a thing, my poor little mind was blown. It was probably around the time Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out that I found out, because there's no way I wouldn't have seen the red Gyarados. I know my brother probably would have shoved it in my face, but even then, neither me or my brother ever found one. Until Generation 5. Okay, maybe that's a stretch. I didn't find one, and I didn't steal one either. It was sent to me. Basically, as a kid, I would wonder trade. A lot. Which is the reason I'm at the casino right now, feeding my gambling addiction. Anyways, I eventually ended up striking gold. 90% of lottery winners stop right before they hit it big. I made that up. Don't believe that. And can you guess what it was? My very first shiny Pokemon ever. The one to start it all. And you might be wondering, who was it? Who was the one to start it all? It was a shiny Porygon Z. A lot of people don't like this shiny, but I like it mostly because it reminds me of when I would mess around on my DSi camera and use the negative filter. Everything would turn blue and white. Someone probably took photos at their grandma's funeral with the Mario filter. I can almost guarantee you that happened. But yeah, this Porygon Z was my prized possession. Only second to my Zoroark, of course. I know I probably got another shiny through Wonder Trading back then, but this was just the one I remember, and I'm a very forgetful person. But I do actually still have it. I have no idea if it's hacked or not, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I still cherish it the same. But once I got a taste of receiving a shiny Pokemon, I wanted more, and more, and more, which is why I kidnapped this Illumise. I didn't care what the Pokemon was. As long as it was shiny, that was good enough for me. And this was the start of a very bad addiction. During the Generation 6 era, I fell out of Pokemon for a bit, and my brother wanted me to shiny hunt for him. First of all, I'm 10. What the hell? Second, I have the attention span of a frog. He wanted me to look for a shiny Froakie. And I remember that because I asked what it looked like, and he simply said, oh, it just looks a little lighter. And that was it. I wasn't even given a photo, just a brief description. So I had to look at every single Froakie that hatched to see if they were even a little shade lighter. I never found that Froakie. So yeah, not exactly the greatest start to my own shiny hunting adventure. But then I made a discovery. What I found was essentially the black market, but for shiny Pokemon. I don't know if you guys remember these videos, but I remember people would post these videos where you had to subscribe to them and they would give away countless shiny Pokemon on the GTS. And of course, all of these shiny Pokemon were hacked, and it was just a really lazy way of getting subscribers. Seriously, if you did this, you were lame. But did Little Rogue care? Of course not. I didn't ask questions. I just took the Pokemon and ran. And it got to a point where I had multiple boxes of shiny Pokemon, and it just lost its luster after a while, especially since I used multiple copies, so I just had duplicates of the same shiny. And I think this was unironically a really important lesson for me. If you never work hard and don't take the long journey to overcome obstacles, and you just constantly take shortcuts and cheat instead, you won't be satisfied because you didn't accomplish anything. Even if something is long and tedious and takes a lot of time, I'd rather go through that than cheat. So Little Rogue stopped participating in these events. And it was likely for the best, because apparently as soon after I stopped, a lot of people started getting banned, so I guess I dodged a bullet. So what did I do after? Well, I didn't release all of the shinies, even if they were hacked. Releasing a shiny Pokemon just feels wrong, so they're all just rotting in my boxes till this day. What I did start doing though was shiny hunting. And thankfully, X and Y was literally one of the easiest games to shiny hunt in. You could probably toss your dog a 3DS, go take a nap, and you'll come back to 12 shinies all staring you down. My little brain couldn't wrap my head around how horde battles worked, so I did it the old-fashioned way. Masuda method. My brother already had a foreign Ditto ready to go, so I snatched it and got to hatching. The amount of laps I did at that daycare is scary, but I mostly did that while watching YouTube videos or something, so honestly it wasn't that bad. But I, for the life of me, don't know if I was successful or not. I mean, statistically, I had to have been, right? I just have no recollection of it. I'm assuming I got a shiny Froakie or Charmander, since I remember thinking that shiny Greninja and Charizard looked so so cool, and I still do. Black shinies are just the best. I can't think of any that look bad. But Generation 7 is when I really got my shiny hunting shoes on. They light up in the dark. Aren't they so cool? Pokemon Sun was the first Pokemon game I got to have all to myself. No more sharing. So this was the perfect time to start my shiny hunting adventure. Of course, though, I did fill up my Pokedex to get the shiny charm. I think that's just a fun thing to do anyways, so the shiny charm was just a bonus. But once I got the charm, the shinies came flooding in. The first shiny I got was a shiny Rowlet. I hatched it using the Masuda method, and once I knew I could do it, I started kicking it into overdrive. Shiny Lurantis, shiny Polisan, shiny Rockruff, shiny Fomantis, shiny Eevee. I wanted to get as many shiny Pokemon as I could, and nobody can stop me. I had standards though. I only went for the ones I thought were cool, and that's how it should be. But everything changed. I met my match. The one that put my shiny hunting career to an end. The one who delivered me to my coffin. The one who buried me 6 feet under. The one who delivered my pitiful bounty. Just who was it? I was foiled by a Cubone. You don't even have a mom! Look, I know what you're thinking. What could have possibly happened? Well, let me explain. I got tired of hatching so many eggs and then having to release them all one by one. So I started SOS chaining since that was the newest way to hunt for shinies. And I wanted a shiny Alolan Marowak. And to be honest, looking at it now, I don't even know why I wanted it. The original looks so much better than the shiny. But whatever. The point is, I was after it. So I basically spent half the day shiny hunting. And I have this problem where if I'm dead set on a task, I will not stop until I reach my goal, no matter what. So it's like 3 in the morning. And keep in mind, I was exhausted from doing this all day. And probably like 12 years old. If I didn't knock out the right Pokemon, my chain would end and all my effort would be for nothing. And you guys can probably see where this is going. So as I was struggling to stay awake, I did it. I found my shiny Cubone after hours of hunting. My brain acknowledges this. I'm like, oh my god, there's that green parentless bastard. But instead of capturing it, I chose violence and ended up knocking out the wrong Pokemon, and the shiny was gone. And that has been my only failed shiny ever. And the first one always stings the most. I was devastated, and after that night, I didn't shiny hunt again for years. And then Sword and Shield came out and I relapsed. Yeah, rehab didn't work. But to be completely honest, shiny hunting in Sword and Shield was sort of therapeutic. This was during quarantine, so I only had virtual school and had to stay inside all day. And while that might be a dream come true for me, it got boring after a while. So what I did that summer was shiny hunt and watch YouTube videos. And as bad of a game I think Sword and Shield is, I still had a nice time. A few shinies I remember getting was a shiny Scorbunny, shiny Zigzagoon, shiny Wooloo, shiny Applin, and a few others from surprise trading. But honestly, there's a bug. Oops. It's probably Illumise. Fuck you, Illumise. Where was I? But honestly, I think this was the best time I had shiny hunting in any game. I didn't have another Cubone incident, but my final hunt that went unfinished was when I was trying to find a Toxel out in the wild without any methods. Well, the method was knocking them out, and I had like 400 little babies racked up. And apparently that shiny hunting method didn't even work, but I started questioning things. Not why I was hunting babies, that's completely justified, but why was I hunting shiny Pokemon? Am I just wasting my time? I could be doing so many other things. Why am I doing this? And then I stopped shiny hunting for a while. And while I still think that shiny Pokemon are cool, I realized I was spending way too much time hunting them. And while I don't really regret hunting all of those shinies, I started spending more time making YouTube videos instead. And now we're here. I still have horrible luck with shinies though. I don't really have any shiny hunting stories from Legends Arceus because I played that game like a year late. I did find a few on accident, like a shiny Ghastly and a shiny... what's it called? Octillery. That's what it's called. But I did try to get back into shiny hunting in Scarlet and Violet. But despite me having better odds than ever before in this game, I just can't seem to find any shinies for the life of me. The only 3 shinies I've found was a shiny Hoppip I randomly found, a shiny Ice Cube, and that shiny Psyduck that was waddling around in my surprise trade only video. And a lot of you pointed out that that shiny Psyduck was marked. So this is probably the rarest shiny I'll ever find on my own. So because I was so unlucky, I stopped. And maybe that's for the best. However, when I live stream, a lot of you guys send in shiny Pokemon, and I appreciate that so much. It's honestly so sweet. I have so many now that I have a dedicated box for the Pokemon you guys send me, and I'll do my best to feature them in videos whenever I get the chance. I'd say for the most part, my experience with shiny hunting has been pretty positive, and while I might not do it anymore, I both respect and fear for those of you who continue till this day. If you have any insane shiny hunting stories, let me know. Subscribe, like the video, join the Discord, follow my socials, baby Bill Blast! Goodbye for now.